Hey guys, this week we're going to talk about making graffiti art, which is going to include drawing your name in bubble letters and overlapping those letters. Okay, I'm also going to show you how to make brickwork to make this look like graffiti on a wall. All right, also keep in mind that bricks come in different sizes, and they're also, the layout is different with them. So, not everybody's artwork is going to look just like this on the background, okay? So, but we do want to make sure that we get this part interesting. And we want to make it look like graffiti and make it look like it's complicated lettering. Okay, so let's get started. All right, so what I want you to do is we're going to take a piece of paper and you're going to write your name and space the letters out. I'm going to show you different styles, but we're going to start with the beginning of creating bubble letters. I'm going to go ahead and write it down here too. All right, so how you handle this is how basically how you handle this, how you draw this is basically going to be how it's going to work for you. And what I mean by that is you're going to outline each letter, but you have options. You can, at each one of these where the letter ends or starts, you can create a line because you are going to outline on both sides. So you can create a line, and at the end or start of every letter, you can have a corner. And this is what we call block letters. Okay. So if I put a line here, here, and then every corner I'm gonna go up, down, there we go. And I could even just draw a circle around that. But where it's called block letters, or what I call block letters, is where you have this angle, okay? They're still bubble because you have that space on the inside. All right, so then what you would do, we're gonna erase what I wrote, then erase what you wrote. You're good. And then you have your letters, okay? All right, so that's one option. You can make a corner at the bottom, top, start, beginning of each letter, okay? Or you can come in and you can just round. Everything is round. Now I call these bubble letters because they look like bubbles. All right, and then we erase what we wrote. Make sure that as we're doing this, draw lightly so that way you can erase. You don't have the crazy erase marks showing. So when you go do this on your drawing paper, please make sure to draw light. All right. And then there's other ways to identify how you can make sure that you are drawing on both sides of the letter. So I'm gonna keep with the carry. Let's see, let me do capital. This might be easier for you to see it this way. All right, so what I can do is I can come in and I can outline. And the C is a little bit easier because it doesn't have any of these connections like these do. But with the A, if I came in and I went like this with it, there we go. And then what you would do then is you would erase. So there's different ways that you can do this to make sure. All right. That's just another idea of identifying how your letters would look, bubble letters. Okay. And then of course you erase what you wrote. And then you just go back in and make sure you put things in, okay? So, because to me, this looks a lot better than having all these lines, all right? All right, now, what I encourage you to do is we're gonna write this again. And this time, we're gonna put the letters closer together. All right, and then you're just gonna kind of draw around outside your lines the way you think you like them. And then you want to putting the letters closer together causes overlapping. And again, make sure you're drawing on both sides of the line. So anytime you have like an A or an R, you want to make sure you put that shape on the inside. And this time you can angle how you want these to go. So I can even come here, draw an arrow if I want to. Okay. So there's just different ways to go about this, but if you're someone that's new to drawing letters, just in drawing them bubble style or block, this is, where you're going to want to go for practice. Now you can go to Google and type in graffiti alphabet styles, and there will be a bunch that pop up. Okay, but if you're someone that can draw that way, for instance, the one on this example. Okay, so I'm gonna draw this R, and all I would do is just draw it as a shape. There we go. So you can do it like that if you want, if you're able to, okay? All right, so write your letters, outline it, and then erase what you wrote, okay? And then if you can, do this as practice, but if you can, write your letters close together and practice overlapping. And I'll do another one where the letters are lowercase. And this time I'm going to change up where my start and end lines are. Just kind of change the shape up. And then, so right now it looks like a little bit of a mess. But if I can take and erase what I wrote. All right. So that would be a good style to stick with or to start with. Okay. All right. So when we get our name drawn, then we want to dress it up a little bit. So like on this one, I have this outline, and I also have these shadows going on behind the letters. Okay. So I'm going to show you how to do that real quick. All right. It's up to you if you want the shadows to come down or in on the side. You can even have them go up and on top. It's up to you. I like it down and on the sides. All right, so if we go back to learning how to draw the cube, we start with a box or a square. Okay, and we want to make it look three-dimensional. So it's going to be the same concept with letters. It's just going to be a little bit more complicated because we got to deal with the curves and how they all connect, especially with letters that are overlapping. Okay. All right. So to turn this into a cube, I'm going to stick with up, and we're going to go on the right. All right. So when drawing a cube, we have a diagonal line. And basically, if we're on a computer, we take this diagonal line, we replicate it 2 more times, okay? So you want to make sure you draw the exact same diagonal line here and here, okay? And then this line is parallel to this line. So this line goes straight down, this line goes straight down. This line goes straight across, so this line goes straight across. And that's how we have a cube. And we're gonna do that same concept to here. Let's see, let me draw a letter to kind of show you before we start putting it on a whole word. All right, so if I were to take this and put it on a cube, then I'm going to take the same diagonal line that I put here and here, and I'm going to replicate here, 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 because these are the areas that go up. If I were to put it here, 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 they go inside the A, so then it would make my A look see-through, okay? So I just want to make sure I'm putting it on the corners where it'll make it look where it's on the outside. All right, so once again, if this line over here is parallel to this line here is going to be parallel to this line. This line is parallel. Parallel. And then we have a 3-dimensional A. Okay, that's how you make your shadows. So if you can apply that same concept that you can on a cube, you can apply it to the A. Okay, so now we want to think about letters that have curves. All right, let's start with the C. Okay, so again, if I put this here, that's inside the C. So I want to make sure I put those diagonal lines outside. Okay, so here, and then what I like to do in teaching this is going, if this is my diagonal line, I need to find part of the line that comes out. So here, 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 here. All right, so parallel, 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 parallel. And that would be how you do a block C. So in thinking about these corners, these curves, that's where it becomes important. Here's another one. If I were to do a lowercase r, okay, so again, I have this diagonal line. So I'm just using the same concept of the diagonal line on the box. So if you have to draw a box on another piece of paper to get what you want, you can, okay? So here, here, that's inside the R, here, here, okay? All right, so parallel line, there we go, and parallel line. All right, so that would be a block lowercase r. The E's are my favorite because the E's have a lot more connections, especially the capital E. All right, so you would go diagonal, 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 diagonal. See how fun it already is? Diagonal. Okay, so block, parallel, parallel, parallel. We're going to parallel down, parallel across, parallel down. See, now it looks like we made stairs. Parallel down, parallel across, parallel down. Now you have a block E of the same style. See, you can even, when you draw it, you can even take your cube if you want to. If you're using the cube as your concept, you could even do it on the other 3 sides. And that way you can see it that way. Okay. Yeah. Or you can take a cube. You can go so there's different angles that you can pull this out from. So if I were to do this one, and I wanted to do an I, down, down. So down, down, down. And then down. So this would be a curve. So basically be the side. There we go. And that would be your lowercase I. Okay. Now you can still do the same block concept with having variations in your letters, which is where I was showing in this one. So it doesn't have to necessarily stay block. For example, like this font right here, I just go with whatever curve is there and make it work. Okay. All right, then we take this and we apply it to the whole letter. Let's go ahead. We're going to do it to this. All right, so again, this is practice. Here, see, we have this down here. And I keep going back to this cube because I'm seeing this one and this one. But I want to make sure that I'm keeping the same diagonal down lines. Here, 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 here. Okay, we don't see this one, so I'm just going to go ahead and put that there. Here. I'll go ahead and put this one here. There we go. Move that over just a little. Here. All right, so what I want to do is keep in mind the letters are overlapping. I need to, as I shadow, I need to decide, do I want that letter to overlap on top of the next letter? And so that's up to you. You can either stop it or let it continue. All right, and so that would be how this one has a shadow. All right, and then if I want to, you don't have to, but I would think of maybe creating some kind of outline around the name, and that way you have a chance to make it lighter, do something to make it contrast against the bricks. So you can do the drip, and I'll show you how to do that, or you can do something else, and I'll show you some options. So the drip is, so everything drips down. So I'm just going to create this outline that goes around my letters here. All right. And then when I get down, that's when I'm going to start making it drip. And I'm going to keep that. It's kind of like you're making these oozing bubbles. Okay. But you want to make them go with that outline and change them up. So if you want to make some that are big, that's fine. All right. So that's really all you do to make the drip. And it's just that one's going to take a little bit of practice. Or you can do something like a pop art style where you can do this. You know, that's up to you. There's different things you can do. You can even put it inside of a heart if you want to. Okay? Just have to figure out how you would do that. I'd go with the outlining. Okay? And I'm going to show you an example where I'm doing this. And then I may even do something that's not the drip or this. And again, you want to do the drip, you're going to outline. And when you come down, you'll start just kind of doing these U's. Okay? Okay, so to talk to you about what I like to do and how I come about making my letters is I like to go to Google and I type in graffiti bubble letters or graffiti alphabet, and you're going to come up with lots of different ideas. Okay, so what I do is I like to go through them and combine letters. So like if you see one that looks like this, I didn't like the C, so I revised my own C. And then I found another one where I like the E, so I might use that E. Here's the A alphabet and the R, so I might change them up and kind of make it my own. That's what I like to do, okay? Now, if you're someone that's like, so can't really do this, you can even, when you go to draw your name, instead of coming in and going straight across, you can come in and even just kind of change it a little bit. So you don't have to do a complete straight line. You can go like frown face, and then go up, frown face, and then come down. And then you have a completely different style that's all your own. Okay? So there's different ways that you can do this. You can take the lines and just kind of curve. You can even make like a heart or, you know, whatever works for you. You can cloud around your letters. It's really up to you how you want to do your letters, okay? But I like to be able to draw mine from Google, and I like to take different styles and then mix up those styles that I'm seeing. So I might take 3 or 4 different alphabet things that I find on Google and change them up. All right. So now I'm gonna start my drawing.
It's been too long. So much trouble. Where's the secret?
So, new management, gents. Here's the deal. The hydrant is gone, boss. Someone else got it. Who?
I really appreciate doing business, but you've only paid for an hour of my time, and I have to be back at the weekend.
Your kid isn't safe to me. The class in danger with this job. She makes upstairs for a few days afterwards.
Mr. Tucker, are you threatening me? Really? Even if I'm nice, my boss will call this that much on you.
It's not me you're in danger with. Pack her on.
My boss will call this that much on him as well.
Which is why your boss is already dead.
Who are you lot?
We're here to see Dreesen.
You're not with Becca's crew.
You're not in Pecker's pocket anymore, and you don't know him.
Hey, what you gonna call it? Hey! One of these has a hole in it.
One look and I can tell. Criminals. I'm not meeting anyone until midnight.
We heard you needed a heart render.
All right, she stays. The rest of you out.
She stays. And we have an exclusive on this job.
Mr. Brecker. No businessman worth his salt hires his first applicant.
No. No, I understand. Of course, I will have to report you to the guild for kidnapping and harboring a prisoner without chain of title.
You wouldn't.
No businessman worth his salt bargains for what he can take.
I have to be back in an hour.
All right, come on.
Who's this?
So you don't know anything afterwards. This is Alexei Stepanov. 2 weeks ago, young Alexei here crossed through the falls to the school. Alone.
How?
Well, they're keeping it quiet. Allegedly, he was one of a few witnesses to an event.
What kind of event?
All right, now that I have this drawn, I need to figure out how I want to design it. Is there any of my letters I want to change? Right now I have my C, which is the first letter of my name, is about the same size as the other letters. So I could easily come in and make that letter bigger if I want to, which I'll go ahead and do just to kind of show you. And what this does is this kind of lays out where your letters are going to be. So you can come in and you can make these changes. And then you say, like, is this too high? Should I shorten it? So this is where you bring in your design inquiries, design ideas. How do you want your name to look if it was graffiti? There we go. So I want it just a little bit bigger, not too much bigger, but just to kind of stand out. Okay, and then I also want to, I'm gonna go ahead and do the brickwork, and I want to show you how to do the brickwork. All right, your bricks don't necessarily have to be super even versus do I need to draw lines that are 2 inches apart or whatever, it's up to you. I kind of like to eyeball my bricks, but I do like to make sure that I use a ruler. So on a blank piece of paper, I'm just going to show you, and then you're going to watch me put it on there. All right, I want to make sure that my ruler is even. I'm going to draw a straight line across, come down, and I like to eyeball it because it's kind of, it's okay if some of your, like, some are a little bit wider than others, but you just want to make, you do want to make sure that it's straight. So if you have to measure it, you can measure it. Here we go. All right, so all bricks start with stripes. Keep that in mind. Create your stripes first. Oh, and you can do this in watercolor or color pencil. That's up to you. So this example is painted in watercolor. So the example that I'm making for this video is going to be done in color pencil. But you do want to make sure that you show values. And you do want to make sure that you blend your colors. Okay. And the reason why is because, like, on my letters, I encourage you to have, not on mine, but on your letters, I encourage you to have an ombre type where it goes like dark to light in one color family. And then you don't have to do a rainbow on your outline, but just something to kind of make it stand out off the bricks. Obviously, if your bricks are red, you don't want to do your outline red unless it's a different kind of red that's going to make it stand out. Okay. So the color choices are up to you. And I think for the bricks, I'm the one that I'm going to create the example for you. I'm going to do gray bricks just to kind of show you a differentiation in brick choice colors. All right. So we have our stripes drawn. I'm going to put one down here because this looks weird. Here we go. All right. So I got my bricks. All right. And then this is the easiest part about doing this is I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to go across, and then I'm going to start my first set of bricks. All right. So I'm going to hold my ruler down, and I'm going to go every other stripe. Every other stripe is going to have a line. So I'm going to go again, and I'm going to make the first set of bricks. Every other stripe. Again, slide it just a little bit. There we go. Every other one. So every other one is going to have a stripe. So now I want to focus on these guys. All right, so between each brick, I'm going to put my ruler about the middle of the brick that I already made on the top row. And then every other one, I'm going to draw a line. Okay? All right, move it over here. Every other one. Almost done. Now I'm going to go ahead and put it over here. And there we go. My bricks are done. So that's how you make bricks. So create your stripes and put a line on every other one. And then you come back in the middle of those bricks and put a line on every other one. That's how you make bricks. Okay? All right, so now I'm gonna put some bricks on here.